Okay, so first we will revise what we studied in last class and then we will move ahead. Okay, so what we studied in previous class? Again, let me just change the marker here. Okay, so what we studied that whatever good or bad karma we did in our past life connect with the universal energies at the time of birth. Okay. Karmas, good or bad, we have done in previous life. Universal energies which were at the time we took birth. Okay, at the time we completely got out of our mother's womb. Okay, we got free, we got independent. So those energies, they connect with the past life karma and together they decide your psychology. Together, past life good or bad karma and the universal energies, they create your psychology. Your psychology makes you take some or make some individual choices. Based on your psychology, you make individual choices. Okay? Based on your psychology, you make individual choices. Those choices result in life events. For example, in past life, you did some bad karma like you tortured your spouse or your husband or wife. In past life, we can be man or a woman. It's not a guarantee if you will be a male or female in every life. Okay. So soul can have birth as a male or female, depend on the karma. Now, in past life, your spouse wanted love, wanted companion, but you did not. Okay. You avoided them or you just tortured them. Okay. Something you did. Now, at the time of birth, the planetary placements, the energies were there. They mix with those karma and created your psychology. Okay. Now, based on your psychology, you will fall in love with someone who may look good but will not satisfy your that romantic craving or that desire for love. Okay. Or maybe they will torture you. Okay, you will fall in love with someone who will beat you every day. Now, that was your own individual choice. You made that decision. There were 100 men standing out, and you decided to love a specific person. Okay. Now, if that person is torturing you, definitely you and only you are responsible for it. Because our mind, it can analyze the person we are talking to. In the first instinct, in the first moment, you analyze the person. Okay. So that is what we call acceptance. Okay. You have to have acceptance in yourself that it was my choice. If it resulted in a bad event, that is fine. I was responsible for it, and I can make this promise to myself that in future I will not make such choices. Okay. That's the only solution for it. We will go to the solutions and remedies later. Okay, so that is clear. Now, in astrology, we study rashis, which are called zodiac signs. Okay, we study bhava. Okay, bhava are called houses. Okay, bhava are called houses. Graha or planets we study. Okay, we study nakshatra or stars or the constellations. Okay, the stars, they make specific groups. There are special groups of stars, so we call them constellations or nakshatra. Also, we studied in last class that there are zodiac signs. 12 zodiac signs are there. So we take an example that this whole universe is of 360 degree, 360 degree is the radius of this, or measurement, we should say the measurement of this whole universe. Now, you see that we have divided that whole universe into 12 parts, into 12 Rashi, into 12 zodiac sign. Now, when you divide it into 12, you get 12 Rashi, and each Rashi is of 30 degree. Okay. So again, we will discuss that more in the Rashi segment. Now, the first Rashi is called Mesh or Aries. Okay. First Rashi is called Mesh or Aries. The Lord of this Rashi is Mangal. Okay. Now, why there is a Lord? In your society, in your town, you see that there is a free plot, a free land. Okay. There is some property which is empty there. When you look at that property, what comes in your mind? There should be some owner of that property, either some person or some company or maybe government. Government rules a lot of like the forest, rivers. Who is the owner of them? The government of that country owns all those places, right? Or some person should own something, or some company should own that. The same way, there are Rashis are what? They are divisions of space, basically. If there is a division, a plot, some empty land, some empty field, there should be owner of that field. So the same way, there are 12 Rashi, and because they are the division of a space, they are part of a space, so there is a owner of that space also. Okay. Now, Mesh is the first Rashi, which is known as Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mangal or Mars. So Mars is the owner of 0 to 30 degree space in the sky, which is called Aries or Mesh. I hope it is clear here. Huh? So whole sky, today in the class, I will just send an image of that, a diagram that how the sky is divided, and owner of that. I will make a diagram of that to help all of you. So Mesh is the first 30-degree portion of sky which is ruled or owned by Mars or Mangal. Okay. Now second Rashi is Vrishabha. Vrishabha. Now Vrishabha is called Taurus in English. Now basically they are not English name, they are Greek and Latin, a lot of mixes there. So this Vrishabha or Taurus is ruled by Mars. Owner of Vrishabha or Taurus is Shukra, Venus. Okay. So the owner or the lord of Vrishabha and Taurus is Shukra. Shukra is called Venus. Hmm. The next sign is Mithuna. Now Mithun is called Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury or Buddha. Now the next one we go, Karka. Karka is called Cancer. The fourth sign is Karka, which is called Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by Moon or Chandra. Moon only rules one area. Moon is, she's the queen. So queen, she doesn't need 10 properties in the country. She just says, I own the biggest field in the country or the most precious one. So you can see that Karka is kind of like the capital of your country. like Delhi in India or Riga in Latvia. So it is the most precious place in the whole sky. So she just says, I want one property only. I don't want millions. Okay. I just want one which is worth many millions. Okay. So moon rules Cancer or Karka, sun who is the king. So the fifth sign is Simha. Now Simha is called Leo. Leo is ruled by Surya or the sun. So sun, which is the king, and moon, which is the queen, they only rule or own two zodiac signs in the sky. These Mercury Mars are the cheap people, they are middle class people. They want to buy 10 or 20 properties in the city. Whereas King and Queen, they are like, I own the richest mansion in the country. That's all I want. Okay, I don't want 10 or 20 small houses. The same way, so the King and Queen, Moon rules Cancer sign and Sun rules Leo sign. Okay, in these classes, these are your first classes. So I am using English words also. In future classes, when we will move ahead, I will be only using Hindi names. So please remember the Hindi and Sanskrit names because that is all what I will be using in future. Okay. Now the next sign after Leo comes Kanya. Kanya is called Virgo. Virgo is owned by Mercury or Bodh. Okay. Now it is Bodh. Again, pronunciation is important. Do not add a with anything like Americans do. Do not adopt their bad habit. It is not Buddha. Okay, as they say, it is not Buddha. It is Bodh. Dha. Okay. Like the way your heart beats, the, huh? That is the heartbeat. It is not the, no, it is the, like you are attacking with some hammer on something, right? So bodh, okay. So bodh rules Kanya sign, which is called Virgo. So bodh owns two signs, Gemini or Mithun and Kanya or Virgo, okay. The next is Tula. Tula is known as Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus or Shukra. Now again, Shukra. Okay. You in Latvian, for obviously Hindi speakers, that won't be a problem. And also for Latvians, I don't think if it will be a problem because Latvian grammar is a lot of, it's coming from Sanskrit. So it has a lot of similarities with it. Okay. So it is Shukra. Okay. Shukra is Venus. Now Venus ruled Libra or Tula. So there are two signs of Venus, Libra and Taurus. Remember the names of signs and their owners. The next one is Vrashchik. No, Vrashchik is Scorpio. Vrashchik is Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, Mangal. So, Mars rules Aries, which is the first sign, and it rules Scorpio, which is the okay. So, Aries and Scorpio are ruled by Mars. Okay. Now, the next sign is Dhanu. Dha again, we used dha with Budh, right? So Dhanu. Now Dhanu is ruled known as Sagittarius. Dhanu is known as Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter or Brihaspati or Guru. Guru is the lord of Sagittarius or Dhanu. The next sign is Makar. Makar is basically crocodile. Okay, crocodile. So you must be feeling threatened by the name only. Huh? So that crocodile, that creature is Makar. So Makar is known as Capricorn. Makar. Makar is known as Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn or Shani. Saturn has a Hindi name Shani. The next sign, Saturn is, such a lazy person. He is really lazy. So just like Zeta, she has two flats, like her mother and her flat are so nearby. So it is, Shani is just like Zeta. So he was like, yes, I want to buy property, but I can't drive so long. So give me two sign together. Okay. So he got Makar, Capricorn sign here, and just the next sign Aquarius. Also, Saturn bought these two. Saturn bought together. Okay. So Makar or Capricorn is owned by Saturn. Kumbh, Kumbh or Aquarius is also owned by Saturn. Saturn rules or own two sign, Capricorn and Aquarius. Okay. Now the last sign, the 12th sign is Meen. Meen means fish. Okay. Machli, fish. So Meen. Meen is Pisces, ruled by Jupiter or Brihaspati. Now, Jupiter has another name, Guru. When we say Guru, we are talking about Jupiter. Okay. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. So I hope they are clear in your mind now. Let's move to the planets. So as we have already repeated the names, I will just repeat them again for you. Surya is the sun. Okay. So sun has the name Surya. Moon is Chandra. Okay. Mars is Mangal. Mercury is Bodha. Jupiter is Brihaspati or Guru. Venus is Shukra. Saturn is Shani. Now there are two more planets we have added. One is north node of moon, which is Rahu, and another one is south node of moon, which is Ketu. We will study all of them, how they make. We have, I guess, in the first class we discussed Rahu and Ketu, how they are made, right? Now, the 12 houses, okay? So you just see in astrology what we say that this chart, this is the whole space, whole sky, okay? This center point here is Earth, okay? This point is Earth, and all the sky around is it here, okay? So you see, this is Earth, and all space around it is in this chart. Now, this is the first house. When you see a North Indian, I have shared the software with all of you, so you will download that and you will enter your birth details and you will be able to see your birth chart, right? Now, in that birth chart, what you will see, this will be in this design, okay? Choose North Indian chart in the display settings of the software, okay? Then you will see this chart coming there. Now in this chart, this is known as the first house. In your chart, you will see different number written here. Don't go with the number. Just forget the number what is written here. Just remember the words of Guru that this is always the first house. Okay. You just remember this word in your mind that this is always the first house in every chart. In my chart, in your chart, in every chart, this will always be the first house. This will always be the second house in every chart, no matter what number is written here. This is always be the third house. This will always be the fourth house. This will always be the fifth house. This will always be the sixth house. This will be the seventh house. This will be the 8th house. This will be ninth. This will be the 10th house. Here we have 11th house. And here we have 12th house. So these are the 12 houses which are fixed. Okay, they are fixed. Houses never change in any birth chart. Remember this. Houses never change in any birth chart. Now, these are the some qualities or some life aspect we learn from the birth chart from the houses. Okay, so we see the first house here. The first house is, it shows yourself. It is you. If someone asks you that where are you standing in your chart, so you will say I am standing in the first house. That is me. Now, what is you? Am I talking about your hand? Am I talking about your feet, your stomach, your heart, your neck, your eyes? What I am talking about? Here, when I say that first house is you, I am not talking about your body. This is not you. This is a body. Okay, we have a difference here. So try to understand. First house is the soul, not the body. Got it? First house is the soul. First house is you. Now, what is you? I'm the soul, right? So, first house is your soul. It is your core nature. You may smile too much. You may try to be so confident. You may try to be so sad outside. You may try to be something else. You may try to be kind or not kind. That is a different thing. What you show to the world or what people see in you. But what you are from inside, what is your core nature, your basic personality, that is the first house, your core nature, your looks, your appearance. You are handsome like your Guruji or you are handsome like someone else. Okay. You should appreciate yourself. That is a good habit. So I always appreciate myself just to satisfy the Mars here. So, how is your appearance? What is your overall personality? How you talk, how you walk, how you behave, your gesture, posture, that everything, it will be affected strongly by the first house. Your status, okay, your confidence. Do you feel confident from inside or weak from inside? That will be here. Your ego. Now, ego have different meanings. Here I would say ego is, it means self-realization. Okay. It's the feeling of ahem, means the feeling of me. Okay. I know who I am. That is the understanding of yourself. It is not proud. It is not uh, that what we say in English. I don't know the exact word what it should be, but it's not being um, uh, you know putting others down, being proudy. It's not about that. It's this ego here means understanding of yourself. Do you know who you are? That is what we are talking about here. The understanding of yourself, okay? And vitality, overall, your age, your lifespan, that is also we see from the first house. Second house says savings, okay, your family. We have already discussed all of this in the last class, so I won't just waste your time again going through each and everything. Please just go through everything, and wherever you have doubt, ask me about the significance, okay? About these meanings of houses, if anyone have any doubt, just ask. Don't worry about that, okay? So these are 12 houses. Now, childrens are here in this house for me. It will be for you. It will be for your neighbor. It will be for your parents and for everyone. So houses are fixed. Okay. Remember that. Now, here we have this chart. Confusion is obvious. No, obviously there some confusion must come in your mind when you look at this chart, and you will see that here today, just a second. Here today, my target is to make you actually understand how we see the chart. Now, there are different steps. Today, I will be taking you through the first step. Okay. This will be your chart, right? So this will be your chart here. Now here what you have to see first, you have to see the first house. Okay. You have to see the number written here. Now this first house is called ascendant or lagna. It is called lagana. Huh? So there is this Hindi bhajan that ऐसी लागी लगन मेरा हो गई मगन. So lagna, it is your soul, basically your soul connection, your connection with yourself, what you are. So it is lagna. So lagna is the first house. So when someone asks you what is your lagna or what is your ascendant, what you do, you just open your chart and you see what number is written in the first house. Now this is the first house, but what number is written here, that will be your lagna or your ascendant. So here one number is written. Now what is the one number? It is a sign. Remember, these numbers in the chart are not house, they are representing sign. So this is the first house and there is one number sign. Now what is one number? You immediately go back to the table. One number was Mesh or Aries. So here my ascendant is Aries. That is what you answer. Okay. So you see your chart, you see the number, what is written here. You see with that number, what is the sign. And whatever is that sign, that becomes your ascendant. Now, in the next house, what is the number? Again, you see the sign. What is the sign in your second house? So this is the second house. Now there is Taurus because two number is Taurus. Got it? Now, same way in this chart. Now see, this chart is completely different. We see here 5 number written. So what we do? If someone asks you that what is the your ascendant sign or what is your lagna, what you will do? You will just see the first house and you will see the number. Okay, it is 5 number written here. Now 5 number is Leo. So Leo will be your ascendant. You will immediately say, in my first house, I have Leo sign. It means I have Leo ascendant or I have Leo lagna. Okay. So I hope here everyone will learn how to see the lagna. Actually, what is happening, as I said, the houses are fixed. Okay. But Rashis, they keep moving. Okay. I'm not going into the astronomy or mathematics and of everything for now. I don't want to complicate it for you. Just simply understand, when the houses are fixed, Rashis, they are continuously moving. Okay. Now, when the Rashis are moving, what we are doing, what is ascendant? Now, that is something today we will learn. So, let's try to understand it. What is the ascendant or what is Lagna? Ascendant is at the time of your birth. Okay, this was, for example, this was your, this is Earth, this is your birthplace where you were born. Just see the cursor on the screen, that this is the birthplace, this is where you were born. From your birthplace, at the time when you were born, we will see the east direction. Wherever you are born, just see, just take an example. You were born, or there is any child is born. One child, some child is born in your neighborhood. You immediately go to the house of that child when the child is like about to take birth. And when the child takes birth, when the child is born, you just see in the east direction from that house. And you will see which sign, which zodiac sign is rising or which zodiac sign is there in the sky. Okay. Now, in the east direction, whatever sign will be there at that time, that will be known as the ascendant of that child. I hope it is clear to everyone. So, the sign in the east direction at the time of your birth from your birthplace is known as the ascendant or lagna. Okay. Now, lagna can be different because one sign stays in the sky for 2 hours in one direction in the east. So, one sign is for 2 hours. It keeps moving. Okay, it's almost 2 hours. So, in one day, all the 12 sign will be rising. So, basically, it will be changing. So for every person, it will be different. Someone born in morning will have a different sign. In evening, will have a different sign in the east direction. So the ascendant keep changing. Okay. So again, I'm repeating the definition. I will also write the definition in your WhatsApp group, so you can read it again. At the time of your birth, seeing from your birthplace in the east direction, what sign was present, that sign will be known as your ascendant sign or your rising sign or your lagna. Okay. Now, why we give so much attention to this east direction? Huh? That is an important question. It should come in the mind. Why we are not looking at the north? Why we are not looking in the south? Why we are just focusing on the east direction? For that, we have to understand sun. Sun is the source of our life. Just imagine if there is no sunlight at all. For example, sun just turn off itself. There is no light, there is no fire in the sun. Just imagine. Will there be life possible on any planet? There won't be any life without sun. Sun is the giver of life. Early morning, when sun rises in the east direction, immediately your body start producing. This is a automatic reaction your body does. Your body start producing good hormones automatically. Sunlight affects, it gives warmth, it gives energy to all the human beings as well as other creatures and plants and others. Huh? So because sun is the giver of life and sun is basically a present dev, a present deity, a present god to every human, that's why, and sun rises in the east. Yes, sun rises in the east. So the life starts from east. When rishis they looked at the sky, they saw the day start in the east. Life starts in the east. That is why they especially focused here on the east direction. And you will see how the east direction influence your life. That is a really important point. The east direction of your house, east direction of your city, east direction of your country, east direction of your birth chart. Everywhere you will see east direction become really, really important. It influences your life on a very big level. Okay. So that's why we give so much attention to the east direction. Okay. So again, repeating the definition, at the time of your birth, looking from your birthplace in the east direction, whatever sign was present will be known as your ascendant or your rising lagna or your uh, lagna. Okay. So this is now. After that, when you find out the ascendant, after that, what you do, like here we find out that, okay, there is Leo ascendant for this person. Now, after that, we start placing sign in the sequence. Okay. So after Leo, what comes? Virgo. So Virgo will come to the second house. Now after Virgo comes Libra. So Libra will come to the third house. Now after Libra comes Scorpio. So Scorpio will be fourth. We start continue placing. After 12 sign mean or Pisces, we place first sign because it is actually rotating. So after Pisces will come Aries. It is the sequence which will never break. So you find out the ascendant sign, you place it in the ascendant. After that, you start writing all the zodiac sign in sequence. And when you reach to Pisces, after that you start with Aries again. Okay, till you reach to the ascendant. So that will be the cycle. I've tried to explain it the best way. Still, if anyone has doubt, you all are most welcome. Now, this is the birth chart of India. Okay. So why I especially put this chart, because this question is important to come in mind, that do we only see the birth chart for a person? Is it only a person which is taking birth? No. Your pet dog, your cat, your bird, everyone is taking birth. So we can do astrology for all of them. It is not that we can't do astrology for all of them. The rules will change. Okay. Rules for human will change, rules for bird will change, rule for dog will change, rule for a country will change, rules for a company will change. Rules of reading the chart will change. But we can make chart for everything what is taking birth. Okay. So there is this chart of India. India was a slave, or we can say prisoner of Britain, okay, United Kingdom, the worst nation of the world, which has tortured almost whole civilization. So it was a slave till 15th August 1947, 001 minute hours Delhi. Okay, so that was the night. Okay, night of 15th, quite early morning. So it was the night of 14th and early morning of 15th. Okay. So that is the time when India took birth. India was recognized as a independent nation. And at that time, when the prime ministers and other people were signing the agreement of freedom, at that time, this moment, when someone looked from that place, from Delhi in the east direction, Taurus, two number is Taurus. So Taurus sign was rising. So they made the chart and they placed Taurus in the ascendant. Okay, for now, just forget the planets here. We will just focus on the sign. So Taurus sign became the ascendant sign or the rising sign or the Lagna. Okay. Now after that, they placed Gemini, 3 number, then Cancer, 4 number, then Leo, 5 number. They placed all the planets. They reached to Pisces, then they placed one Aries. Okay, so it completed the chart. Now, some of you have this another question, that what these planets are doing here. Previously, I explained in the table some things to you. This is, yeah, this is the sign and owner of that sign. Now, there are some rules to study the chart. Now, this is a very basics. Uh, Actually, what I'm doing, the actual lectures I will start in like second or third class. Okay. It will be third or fourth, I guess. When I will start teaching, I will come in form, then I will be using some words and some things which you may not understand. That's why first I am building the basic blocks. Okay. So do not take it light or as like, okay, I know it. Don't do that. Try to learn everything, whatever I'm teaching. Because future lessons, you will only understand if you know this. Okay. So what we do here, this is your chart you have. Now, if someone, what questions you should ask for any chart? First, where is the Lagna? Where is the ascendant? Now, you will say this is the ascendant or the first house. Now, you ask, what is the sign in ascendant? You see the number here. What is the number? And you match from this table that, okay, this is my ascendant sign. You place other signs here. Okay. Now, if someone asks you, where is Mercury? Now, in the software, you just see starting two alphabets of the name of the planet. So, Mercury will be ME. Okay. ME will be Mercury. So, if someone asks you, where is Mercury in your chart? So, what answer you should give? Where is Mercury? Here. Which house is it? 1, 2, 3, and fourth house it is. So you will say, I have Mercury in the fourth house, and then you check the number there, it is 4. 4 is Cancer. So I have Mercury in the fourth house in the Cancer sign. That is what you will say. Where is now? Let's take another. Actually, this is the basic. Yeah, this chart. In this chart, if someone asks you where is Mercury, you will see where it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My Mercury is in the 11th house and you see number 3. So 3 is Gemini. So my Mercury is in 11th house in Gemini sign. Got it? What you will do, you will say that first you see the house, which house it is. This is the first house, ascendant. You start from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My Mercury is in the 11th house. Then you say the sign. What number is it here? 3. So you check the 3 number sign, Mercury, Gemini. Okay. So my Mercury is in 11th house in the Gemini sign. If someone asks you where is your sun, again you count. This is ascendant, first house, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My sun is in the 10th house. Okay. Now you check the number. It is 2 number. 2 number is Taurus. Okay. So you will say my sun is in the 10th house in Taurus sign. Okay. If someone asks you where is any planet, then this is something you have to do. First you check the house, in which house the planet is. Then you have to check the sign, in which sign the planet is. And that is how you actually explain the placement of your planet in your birth chart. Now, this is homework for everyone. Find out all the planets in your chart, the 9 planets, where they are placed. I want, before Sunday, I want homework done in the group. Okay. Every student make a voice note or write for every planet you write. First you write sun. My sun is in this house, in this sign. Moon. My moon is in this house and this sign. That way you write all the 9 planets. Every student will do that for their own chart. Okay. That is the homework you have to do. So that is the first thing all of you do. And what I will be doing last week we couldn't do that. But this again on